So it has been a while since I left a video, and I said when I rejoined the group that I may leave a video again. Only pre-recorded videos though, because a live is just too much to deal with sometimes, and responding to people in live time kind of gets a little bit old. But I kind of wanted to talk about the recent chaos in the world, right? Because I think a lot of people are experiencing chaos within themselves as well, which chaos is normally the pathway to order or to change. And recently you guys have heard me talk about synchronicities being like through the roof lately with realizations and everything else, and it has been. The last 3 months of my life, 2 months, have been pretty insane. Almost lost my mother. She was in the hospital for a month. She was pretty sick. I even went to jail. But that's a story for a different day. You know, it was only an overnight thing, but you know, family can, as much as it can be loving, it can be quite chaotic in itself. You know, you have a lot of people that are growing at different rates, and I have gone inward for the last 4 to 5 years, and I think, you know, the inward journey, everyone thinks, oh my gosh, it's all love and light, and again, I'm here to tell you that you're going to lose a lot of people, you're gonna just ascend past people, and I think the important part is learning to persevere through the storm, but also not taking action sometimes and just letting things kind of take its course. And that's kind of pretty much what I've been doing, is letting things take its course, letting things kind of come and go, and then looking for the synchronicities or what it's trying to tell me, because really life doesn't beat us up. Again, it doesn't beat us up. It's always trying to teach us and tell us something. And, you know, sometimes even the actions of others really, I mean, it's really not about us all the time. Sometimes it tells us a little bit about ourselves, but also it's more about revealing about what those people mean to you and truly what they think of you as well. So keep that in mind when you're, you know, when you're trying to look and analyze things and think about, oh my gosh, like why did that person react that way to me, or why did they say those things? And a lot of times maybe that's truly how they felt about you in the long run. And I think for me it's important to not hold on to anything. And that's one thing that I've been struggling with a little bit, is holding on to some anger and maybe a little bit of resentment, so to speak, on my past actions and what I did. And you know, I can only change myself. I can't change anyone else around me. And that's something, that's a really hard realization too, is learning that you can't change anyone else. You can't do anything to make them change. You can't do anything to make them change their lifestyle, to change the way they think, to change the way they act. That is solely on them. And the only thing that you can do, right, is maybe plant a seed and move forward. And that's kind of what I'm, you know, what I'm gearing towards, is moving forward. Moving forward, changing my situation, changing my environment. The last 3 years, 4 years, I haven't had a real conventional job because I lost my job when I got into the car accident when I was on my way to pick my kids up from the airport. That was a rough thing in itself, and many of you know that story. So then after that happened, my mother lost her leg, and I stayed home and took care of her. And I mean, when I say take care of, I mean I transferred her literally from her wheelchair to the toilet. I transferred her from her wheelchair to her bed until she got strong enough. And she recently now, I mean not recently, but in the last year and a half, she's been able to do that. I also wasn't able to go to work because, well, I had to take my kids to school. I had nobody to do that. So I was working cash jobs, odds and end jobs, things to get by. And in the meantime, during all of that, I went inward, and that's when I found my passion, which, I mean, I still love helping people, and I'm still going to do that, but I'm going to do that through this group and not on a personal basis, which I've discussed before. But also, another thing that I found was my passion to write dark horror and to create little miniature movies and movie shorts and stuff, which I just recently submitted one to a film festival, and it's currently being decided upon whether it will be included or not. And if it doesn't win or it's not included, not all is lost, because everything there is a stepping stone. It's there to teach you. And I came way out of my comfort zone to even submit that film and to even do that. So that was me stepping out of my comfort zone, sharing my art and my creativity with people beyond my inner circle. And I think that's important too. So when all this chaos is going on, again, I look inward, I look towards my path, which most of you know that I went, you know, I was called by a lot of the Norse gods and goddesses, and that path just speaks volumes to me. I'm currently learning the ruins and doing things at my own pace, sometimes sitting in silence and allowing the universe to show me and tell me what it is I need to embark on next. Which isn't, it's not easy to do that, because to sit in silence sometimes, means you have to actually face yourself, and even things that you were hiding within yourself. And I used to hide a lot of stuff, I recently quit smoking weed. I don't even do anything anymore. I've been clean for 6 weeks now or whatever, and my focus level and everything are through the roof, and I'm not against it, but what I'm saying is, if you sit around and you smoke it all day, it's no longer got any medicinal properties. You're pretty much doing it for the sole fact just to feel high and to escape something. So, and just like alcohol can be enjoyed socially. It totally can be. But if you're doing it every day and you're drinking every day, it's no longer social. Now it becomes a Band-Aid. And I didn't want any more Band-Aids. I used to smoke weed to improve my creativity, to calm me down, to recenter myself. And now what I use to recenter myself is a good old darkness with some music in the background and maybe a lit candle. Also, psychedelics, can they be a tool, or can they be something dangerous? It depends on the environment in which you're using it, the circumstances in which you're using it. I feel psychedelics can be a very powerful tool in going inward and facing your inner demons and your inner self and allowing all that stuff to come to the surface. It's a very powerful tool if used correctly. And I say correctly, what do you mean correctly? Setting an intention. What are you looking to get out of that? Are you looking just to laugh and have fun? Well, you should be able to do that without the need of a drug to enhance that. A lot of times, I sit and I use it alone. And as many of you know, that was a huge part of my journey and my awakening journey. It accelerated my path because I was able to look at myself. It allowed all that stuff that I kept hidden inside just to come to the surface and boil to the surface like a big boiling pot of water. And as the steam was escaping, so were a lot of the things I was holding on to. And so, yes, can weed be a tool? Of course it can be a tool. It can be a great meditation tool. It can also be used to calm yourself down as well. But if you're only using it to enhance things and to do all of that, then quite frankly, it's no different than being an alcoholic. So again, that was something I had to face, because I was like, damn, man, I used to justify smoking weed every day. I'm like, but I have to do it because of this. I have to do it because of that. And for me, it's just nothing but an excuse to get high. So those were things I had to face within myself. And looking at all this turmoil and chaos happening within my own city, as you know, there was riots here, and everybody was, oh my gosh, I can't believe this is happening. Well, I can. Can we not see the patterns of the world and the chaos of the world and the division that is now being caused, not only by politics, and I don't care if you vote, I don't. It's everyone's right to vote or not to vote. But the thing is, when you're using it to divide yourselves, and you're putting yourself on a fucking pedestal because you vote for a candidate A or candidate B, does it really make you a better person because of who you voted for? No. Is it a reason to divide ourselves and to fight amongst ourselves? No. Again, we all have to come together. And that's one thing that I've seen the riots caused here. It caused enough chaos for people to come together and to want to help one another. And that's important. That is really important, because in the state of the world, it could get worse. And maybe it is getting worse already around us. There's a lot of things being exposed. There's a lot of things coming to the surface in the world, just as there's a lot of things coming to the surface within each and every individual on this planet, which I feel could be a part of a greater awakening. Or not. It depends on how you look at it. So for me, it's like, as within, so without. That's such a huge statement. As above, so below. Can you not see the things that are happening within you are also happening outside of you? Because it is. And I think that's part of the reason why we have so much craziness in the world right now. But, I just wanted to leave this video out there for anyone who may be struggling for change. Anyone who feels like like there's no way out, like you're trapped in a prison. Trust me, I feel that way too. But I do know that that's not true. I do know that I will persevere these storms. I will rise above. I will embark on the path that is meant for me. A lot of synchronicities have shown me so many things lately. So many things. And when you silence yourself, that is when you can see it. But then, again, you have to stay silent so that way you can understand them and process them. You have to be able to understand why you're receiving those synchronicities and what they truly mean. Without using the ego, involve the heart, involve your soul. And I keep saying, the agony of desire, or the punishment for desire is the agony of unfulfillment. Does that mean we shouldn't desire things? Hell no. Make sure you're desiring it from your soul, though. Make sure it's something that truly lights you up. Something that truly is desired from the soul and not the ego. Because the ego can be a trickster. The ego can definitely trick you. It kind of reminds me of a certain god I knew. But I feel like even if you're tricked by your ego, you should probably understand why you were tricked and see the lesson within that. Because there's always a lesson. And with every lesson, I feel there's always a blessing. And that doesn't mean that we're going to receive money or receive anything. The blessing is learning that damn lesson and moving forward. And that is all I have for you guys today. It felt kind of good to do a video. I'm using my camera that I normally shoot horror videos with, but I don't have a good cell phone to use anymore, so this one will have to do. But anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this short video and enjoyed my rambling on. But also ask yourself, what is it I'm looking to change? Why am I wanting to change that? And what am I going to do to achieve that change?